Welcome to Dementia Diaries. Hi, I'm Mike, and I've been living with vascular dementia and mild Alzheimer's for 5 years now. And I've discovered some things that give me strength. I'd like to start with my oldest son who lives in Ottawa with his wife and my granddaughter. Being that they live in Ottawa, it's kind of hard to get together with them all the time, but we do on a few occasions during the year. But what gives me strength is the relationship that I have with that family. On occasion, just out of the blue, my son will text me, maybe a picture, maybe a thought, maybe something out of the blue that's always funny. And it starts up a text thread that goes back and forth, and gets funnier and funnier. And we also go out to Canadian Tire together. There's a huge one in Ottawa. It's 2 stories. They've got a big ramp that goes up. You can look around upstairs, and they've got, the most important part about that is there we are, 2 guys standing in the hardware aisle, shoulder to shoulder, trying to figure out which gizmo we need, the little thingamabob that goes on the what's this, and just sitting there, hands in our pockets, shoulder to shoulder, guys looking at stuff. Excellent. And my daughter-in-law in Ottawa comes from Toronto, which is near and dear to my heart because, I'm from Toronto and we can meet there. It's nice. My granddaughter, she's around 8 years old. The one thing we like to do together is we like to do crafts. We like to make little things and we kind of meet there as grandpa and granddaughter. She's a spark plug and I used to read her stories because she liked the voices that I used, and just regular stuff, My youngest son, he doesn't live too far from here with his wife and 2 grandchildren, a dog and a couple of cats, and a really nice home. Just last weekend, it was Mother's Day, and they invited us over for some Chinese food and a get together at his place. He has a really nice back porch and it's shaded, and at this time of the year, it's a little chilly. So I had this brainstorm of maybe we could give him the patio heater that we don't use. Haven't used it in a couple of years. It's one of those things with a propane tank and a couple of round heater elements on it. It was just gathering dust in the garage, and that would be just the thing for a nice covered and closed porch. So Justin got in the car and we drove together over here. We picked up this propane heater and we brought it over to his place and spent the next hour trying to figure out how to light this propane heater. We were there together, just a couple of guys trying to figure out how the thing worked. And the look of joy in his face when he got the thing to go, we lit it up and it heated up the patio. The cat loved it, nearly set itself on fire, laying in front of it for an hour or so. And then we had some Chinese food. It was nice. My granddaughter and her brother, my grandson, they like to go out to eat. So sometimes we go out for sushi together. I'm not a big fish person, but there's enough to eat there. They had regular Chinese food as well. And we'll go out like that. Like with my grandson, at Christmas time, he'll take me out and we'll go shopping together to buy stuff for Karen so that she doesn't know what I'm getting. The most important part of that is not so much getting the gifts, but it's going out for lunch together. And just sitting there, regular guy stuff, it's okay, it's good. Gives me strength. My friends that we're close to treat me just like Mike. They don't treat me like someone that needs to be handled with kid gloves or be afraid of or being treated like I'm contagious. We go out for breakfast. We just, we talk about normal everyday things. Those are the things that give me strength. Not where where it's structured and organized, and activities. It's just regular everyday stuff. If Karen and I go out for a trip, we went up to Goderich. We spent a couple 3 days up there. We had to be adaptable. It was going to be cold and rainy, but in one part of the province it wasn't. So we went over there from Goderich. We spent the day in Elora, and that was great. We just had dinner, just being together like that. I'd like to thank you all for dropping by. In the meantime, please click like and subscribe, and leave a few comments on some topics that you might want me to cover. So again, thanks a lot.